morning, Scott. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, Kayleen. How are you doing?
I am doing terrific. I am so excited to be here as always for our Tuesday lunch and for our friends tuning in. I'm Kayleen Mccabe, joined as always with my friend and also founder of SEFCA, Scott Shelar. And Scott, normally we start off the show and kind of geek out about stuff or whatever, and sometimes it's a power tool. But I was gifted a toy this weekend that I'm really excited to share, and you might appreciate this. It's an authentic Indiana Jones with a working whip. I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
Right? There's a little satchel that opens.
Is that like from the 80s? I mean, is that vintage? Like,
yes, it is. And I'm one of those people who opened up the box and I'm going to play with it. And I love it.
oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yes. So I'm excited they're making a fifth one. The fourth one doesn't count. And the first three, growing up, I wanted to be Indiana Jones. When it was, coming to graduation from high school, it's like, what are you going to do? And I really thought I could go to college to be Indiana Jones.
I can totally see that, Kayleen. I mean, that is right up your alley. I could see you running from boulders. And now, are you afraid of snakes?
I do not like snakes. Yeah, so I have that. I like the hat, and I like to, collect artifacts. But I'm fortunate that I found construction instead of an actual career, because it turns out now, with as much as I travel with construction, I kind of feel like Indiana Jones sometimes anyway. So now him and I can hang out and I can crack the whip, but I had to share. Pretty exciting. Being a girl growing up and having Indiana Jones as my idol was kind of interesting. And I have definitely taken a different path as far as being a woman in construction. And I know we kind of touched on it last week, but Scott, why do you think it's important that we really need to kind of encourage, and this is the perfect time again, because yesterday was International Women's Day. It's Women in Construction Week. It's all lady stuff this month. So what are your thoughts?
I have so much I want to share on this. I want to show you something really quickly that fits right in with this conversation. So, my daughter, Sophie, right?
Yes.
One of the nice things about working from home is she'll just show up in my office with something that she made. And this is what she gave me this morning. It's a little origami box. It's kind of a little hard to see, but it opens up and everything. And one of the best things, she made this herself and she just brought it in as a gift. One of the best things though, is it has Skittles on the inside.
So she's amazing. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Sophie's so creative and such. I love building with her and seeing what else she can make.
Thank you. And thank you for working with her. And that's so important, for our young women to have role models like you who do this, who do construction professionally. And so I just want to thank you, from the heart, for being a mentor for her and for all the young women out there. And she talks about you all the time. And I really think you're her Indiana Jones, right?
Well, Sophie and I are friends. I mean, that's really kind. And I mean, it's really cool to see. And hopefully inspired. I'm excited about today's guest because it's actually a group of women that I wish I had found earlier in my construction career. Sort of, a support system. And sometimes it's nice to talk about, like, how do you get a tool bag to fit right? Or, I broke it out below the quick and it really sucks, Yeah. And it's NAWIC. And our guest today, I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I am too, Kayleen. And just to give our viewers some context, Sophie is my 10-year-old daughter, and she works with Kayleen on our Little Builders program. She's Kayleen's mighty apprentice, and she works with her whenever she can. Her school schedule's been getting in the way lately, so she hasn't been able to do as many Little Builder programs with Kayleen, but she loves it. But no, you're exactly right. I've been thinking SEFCA is all about how do we solve the skilled labor shortage? How do we get more people into our industry? And obviously, one of the big answers is we need to make ourselves a more inclusive industry, not only in terms of race, but also in terms of gender. And we need to make our industry more attractive to young women to consider as a career. And I'm just so proud of the work that SEFCA is doing in this space with our Little Builders program. Also lately, more and more women have been coming into our Construction Ready program, which is our adult training program. Our numbers are up to about 45%, Kayleen, our enrollment numbers for women. Yeah, so it's doing really well. We're finding creative ways to reach out and get more women into the industry. And just, again, thankful to have you as a spokesperson and a partner in this effort, and just excited. NAWIC is an awesome partner. They've always been involved in our Career Expo each year, and they have this great Block Kids program that Brett will probably talk a little bit about, but they get it, and we're just so thankful to have NAWIC as a partner, and looking forward to hearing more from Brett today.
Yes. Oh, it's excellent. The work that SEFCA is doing is amazing, and those statistics, that number is fantastic, Scott, because in the industry, and we'll talk a little bit about it, the numbers have been a bit lower, so to rock such a high percentage of females in the industry is huge, and we're doing a great job. And, side tangent, I kind of think that COVID weirdly is going to help us out, because I'll tell you what, porta potties on job sites now are so clean. It's very, very nice. So that's the weird blessings that we take from it. But I'm thrilled to talk with Brett today, and hear about the work that NAWIC is doing, and then also hear about her story as well. Now, Scott, you're going to be hanging out for the entirety of the interview. So if our fans have any questions, you can answer them, correct?
Absolutely. I'll be here watching and look forward to chatting with both of you here in a few minutes.
Yes, I cannot wait to hear your thoughts about our chat today. So, Scott, we will see you, in the future time.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Oh, bye-bye. Brett, how is it going today?
Hi, Kayleen. How are you?
I am terrific. And you are Brett Henderson. You are the immediate past president of the Atlanta chapter of NAWIC. And I'm so excited to get to chat and hang out with you, because I'm a huge fan of NAWIC. And it was sort of like anybody who's in NAWIC is a friend,
It is certainly a sisterhood that goes very strong and very deep. And we are so grateful for SEFCA for partnering with us this week during Women in Construction Week and sharing the platform here to discuss the opportunities for women and to bring awareness to the endless amounts that our great construction industry has to offer.
Yes, because it's huge. I mean, honestly, a half an hour show is not long enough to talk about all the coolness, but all right, so I'm a lady in construction and I love to build stuff, and I'm always thrilled to meet other women in construction. Can you share your story? Let's geek out. How do you get into it?
Sure, I would be happy to. So my plan was to be in education. So I graduated in 2010. And if you remember, during that time, the economy was a little dry. Industry, right? So not a whole lot of job prospects at that time. So I did what any resourceful recent graduate would do, and I picked up the trade of tending bar. So it was while I was developing my customer relation skills and my ability to multitask that I started creating these relationships that would lead me into the construction industry. And I was actually recruited to get involved in the industry as an inside sales rep for a construction materials company. And I got involved, I fell in love with the industry, and here I am 10 years later, still going strong and growing and growing and growing more passionate for this industry.
I love it. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that once I don't know, first we have to dispel the myth, like working in the construction industry isn't just like walking around with a hammer all day. Like, no, there are thousands of different career paths under this umbrella. But once you find out about it, it is like, ooh, what's next? Like, all right. So let's chat a little bit about NAWIC, because I was actually kind of shocked to learn that NAWIC was established in 1953 in Fort Worth, which is amazing. And that's why I was frustrated that I didn't find out about it until, in the 2000s as well. And it was blown away. And so 115 chapters. I was actually able to go to a chapter in Guam, so they are everywhere. So it sounds like there's a lot going on, but let's talk about what the statistics are of women in the industry.
Yeah, so women in the construction industry, right now, we make up about 9%. But what is so cool about the industry is that the pay gap, the gender pay gap, is 99.1%. So when we talk about opportunities for women in this industry, it's lucrative. It's endless. You can do anything inside this industry. The cool thing about our NAWIC Atlanta chapter is that we have field personnel, we have lawyers, we have architects, we have salespeople. It goes on and on and on, and we're all tied together by this awesome industry where we get to build things. We get to build relationships. We get to build projects. We get to build ourselves. And it's what ties it all together. And it's such an awesome organization and industry to be involved in.
Well, big time, having the support with NAWIC, because there were times when I had the TV show, I didn't have any other females around. And there were just moments that I just wanted to be like, how would you handle this? Or how would you, just brainstorm differently? We sometimes think in a different way, which is really beneficial on a job site, that collaborative sort of effort and brainstorming. So, okay, we are fans, right? We're nerds for it and understand it. But then what is the biggest challenge in the construction industry?
So I think we've got a couple of challenges. One, we are a little bit, as women, lone wolves. Okay. So like you said, we're out there navigating, and especially for those of us trailblazers, which you are as well, we're out there making the way. And sometimes we just want to find out what a person that thinks like us would have done in that situation. That's where organizations like NAWIC come into play. You get that camaraderie, you get that sisterhood, that educational piece, and the advocacy for women. So that's one area of opportunity that our industry has. The second, I believe, we are challenged with a major labor gap. You probably remember, starting back in the 60s, this very big emphasis to go to university. Go to university. That's what's going to make you successful in life. Well, that's not totally true. I mean, you can be successful there, but you can also be mad successful by being involved in every aspect of construction. And that's what's so cool, is that there is a place for every background, for every skill set. There's so many opportunities for women, for men, for early education, for everyone to really understand and accept the lucrative and the beneficial opportunities to be involved.
It's huge. Even thinking like you really were trying to be employed during the last recession, found construction. Now, construction is still sometimes a freelance type of industry. You need to prepare, but overall, the consistency with employment is off the charts, and the growth potential has remained consistent, And I didn't go to college. I was afraid to tell people that for a long time. I'm still going to be Indiana Jones, whatever. I know it's all through construction that I became successful. But okay, so I understand, and too, being a female on the job site, it's just nice having different points of views. But why is it important for the construction industry to embrace diversity and inclusion?
So the reason that it's important for the construction industry to embrace diversity and inclusion is because it makes us so much stronger. It makes us have the ability to continue to grow this industry when we have different backgrounds, when we have different perspectives that are all pulling together to one consistent end goal. And it makes the lifeline of our industry so much longer and more lucrative. So the more that we can continue to embrace and bring in women and folks who have different backgrounds and different skill sets, the stronger that we get together.
Yeah, oh, big time. My thing is, are you breathing? Come join us. Everybody's welcome, but definitely boosting the number of women, because the supply, we're out of people. We need more workers so desperately that if we don't tap into everybody who's breathing, we're just not going to find them. So how has the role of women in construction changed over the last 60 years? I've actually seen it change in the last 10. But what about the last 60?
So you think about when women entered the workforce in the 60s. right? And so we were just kind of placed in areas to fill the gap there while men were off at war. Now you see us getting involved in different facets, and we've had the ability to kind of progress through the industry. And now we sit on boards and we are often CEOs, but we're also in the trenches and leading that pipe crew on the ground. So you see us in areas now making a major impact that you just wouldn't have seen traditionally. And it's just really cool to watch. When I first got in the field with United Rentals, I was the only woman out there in my district. And while that was really cool to kind of, wear that badge of honor, now we have multiple ladies in the field, and it's just really neat to see United Rentals embrace that diversity and inclusion message and really put action to the thought. And as you and I, and as more women come into the industry, it's really critical that we wrap our hands around them and wrap our arms around them so that they have some resources that maybe you and I didn't have coming into it. But now, again, we're stronger together. And there's so much intellect and so many different perspectives that allow us to take a project from here to way up here. And it's just really great to be a part of it.
It is. It's really, I don't know, it's re-energizing. And every time I go to the conferences, I'm like, yeah, because it's nice also hanging out with other people who love the industry. That's part of it. We all are, I think, artists at heart, and we just get to express it with cool tools. But I really like hearing you talk about too, that we are at every level. There are women superintendents and foremen, but still in the trenches, which is, that's what I like to be. Actually, I'm definitely more of the hands-on. I want to be gross and working with the tools. And it's important to remind people that, everybody can do this work. You can pick up anything. You just have to know the leverage point. I think sometimes they're like, oh, women might be too weak to do this work. Like, no, actually, not really. That's not the case. So I love hearing that. Now, we brought up earlier a website from NAWIC. Can we talk about how does NAWIC support women in the industry?
So yeah, NAWIC supports women in the industry through a few different avenues. One that's really important to us is education. So we want women to have the ability to pursue any type of role that they want in their organization. So we offer specific courses. We partner with local trade schools, local universities to offer that affordable education for women if they want to put letters behind their name, if you will. We also offer community. So you and I've talked a lot about having someone to kind of share similar experiences with. The sisterhood that NAWIC offers is so strong. I already created so many friends that I would drop and drive to Alabama for right now from Georgia if I needed to, because that's the type of sisterhood that we've created. If I need to know something about the market in a different area, I call it my NAWIC sister and we swap stories. It's just a really incredible network that not only is nationwide, but you mentioned earlier you've attended a meeting in Guam. Last night, we were on a call celebrating International Women's Day, where we had ladies from 5 different countries, all involved in NAWIC, all involved in the trades, and we just shared our stories. Yeah, what got you here? What challenges have you overcome? What is it that you're passionate about? So the community aspect of NAWIC is so strong and so important to our success. And the third thing that we offer is advocacy. So we want to be an active part of shaping the direction of the construction industry, right? So we want to be spearheading the conversations around diversity and inclusion. Within each NAWIC chapter, you've got the big players in each of the different markets within the cities. And those big players have point people within NAWIC. So it's this really cool kind of parallel, matching up what the corporate messages are or what the small mom and pop messages are to what NAWIC's is. And NAWIC's mission statement is to amplify and enhance the success of women in the construction industry. How powerful is that to have all of those allies supporting women?
It's huge, and it really, you know, is a testament to the success with it. You know, it's I don't think we also talk enough about mentorships anymore, and it really is this lovely opportunity to have mentors. You know, there's this collaborative effort that is so strong. I'm like, oh, I want to have a NAWIC meeting right now. Excuse me. Oh, okay, we're just gonna stop lunch, everybody. Hey, we're gonna NAWIC out. So hey, from a personal perspective, what do you find the most valuable part about being in NAWIC?
So there's so many, but if I'm thinking personally, what's really been the most impactful for me has been the leadership and the professional development. So there are different committees within the NAWIC organization that members have the opportunity to not only be a part of, but really get behind and champion. And it's through those committees that we have the opportunity as members to really kind of hone our skill and practice our skill in a safe space, right? So yeah. I've always been in sales. And so the NAWIC Atlanta chapter had the opportunity to get involved in the marketing committee. And I thought, okay, this goes right hand in hand, right? Sales and marketing. So I decided to get involved and then ended up chairing the committee because I thought if I can learn the skills of how to market the NAWIC brand, no problem. I'll be able to market myself and then be able to increase my revenue for my company. So those are the type of transferable skills that you get from being involved in NAWIC.
It's such a good point. Oh my gosh. You know, all right. So the membership is amazing. The group is beyond lovely. You talked about a point though earlier that I'd like to hit on again. And let's talk about the money. You know, obviously we like our careers, but we also make pretty good money. You know, what are the salary opportunities like for women in the trades?
So the cool thing about women in the trades is that you have a bit of the opportunity to kind of work your own schedule, right? So last night on our call about women in the trades, we had a really, really interesting lady named Gabby. She was from New York, was kind of filtered into the white collar business pathway. Her dad was an electrician by trade. Couple years down the road, whatever, now she's a woman in trades. She is an active electrician, active lineswoman. She said when she was working for corporate America that she was there till 7, 8 p.m. at night. Now she gets to be room mom because she's able to pick her kid up from school every day. So the flexibility that you get from being in a trade and being in the field, I think is priceless. And that's one thing that the construction industry will continue to embrace. I am hopeful to continue to see the diversity increase is that flexibility piece and that a work-life balance. It's really important to the next generation that we have a somewhat work-life balance, and you can do it in construction. It offers hours.
It's so true, you know, and what I appreciate is that if I want to work more, there's usually work to be picked up, you know, so being able to determine your own worth is pretty powerful. You know, you talked about the statistic before with the pay gap, and I like to think of in construction, journeyman is a title, it's not a gender, you know, and so we're paid off of our titles. It doesn't matter, you know, I could be a foreman, journeyman, apprentice. But could you please repeat that statistic again? Because that is so powerful. You know, we say in other industries that there is a wage gap between male and female, but what is it in construction again?
It's so exciting. It gives me chills. Women make 99.1% to their male counterparts. That is the closest that you can come. It is just so cool that we have the respect in this industry and we're paid for what we're worth. You said it yourself, journeyman is a title. you're paid for what you're worth.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's, I don't know, I appreciate that because again, we're artists. We put a lot of soul into this. This interview has flown by, but there are a few more things that I really want to hit on. It is Women in Construction Week, which is amazing. And that, meeting you had last night to celebrate International Women's Day is fantastic. But what specifically is NAWIC doing in Atlanta to honor and celebrate women?
So again, thank you guys for bringing this on and sharing this awesome platform to get to talk about this week. We appreciate the partnership that you guys made with us too with the building blocks. So that is just such a cool competition that you guys had, and we were so happy to be a part of that.
Will you talk about that actually? Yeah, please do.
Yeah, so Miss Kayleen hosted a couple of building competitions with some local Atlanta elementary students, and this is very similar to our Block Kids competition. And the concept behind these type of outreach programs is to bring kids in at a very early age. We talked about the labor gap and the labor shortage, and if we can get our hands wrapped around those children when they're creatively naive, and we can go ahead and get them thinking about our industry and the endless amounts of possibility and the lucrative lifestyles that they can have by being in the building trades, then we're really winning. So thanks again, Kayleen, for letting us partner with you guys during those competitions this week in Atlanta. The next thing that we have going on is going to be a little happy hour virtual social tomorrow night within the Southeast. There's a Zoom link on that. Thursday, we'll be holding a I Am Remarkable workshop, which is a Google initiative that our Vice President, Tamaya Partain, is leading. It, again, continues to embrace differences and diversity in the workforce. Friday night, we're doing a hard hats and happy hour high heel social. It'll be the first time we've gotten together in about a year. We will be socially distanced, masks are encouraged, but we'll be hanging out at Monday Night Brewing, exchanging networking cards and having a lot of fun there. And then Saturday is a really, really special event for us. So we've partnered for the past 4 years with Rebecca's Tent. They are a local homeless shelter in the Atlanta area, and they've provided food, shelter, personal and professional development for over 1,200 women. And so this is our day to give back to the community. We're going to be doing some outdoor beautification projects on Saturday. So we are so happy to have anyone that wants to be a part of that. But so much going on this week during Women in Construction Week and lots to celebrate. So again, thanks for having us on.
Oh, this was amazing. Thank you for joining us for lunch. Are you kidding me? Like, what incredible information. And I'm jealous. Again, if I could handle the humidity, I'd be out there in a second for all those events. I like the snow instead. Scott, thank you so much for sticking around and hanging out. What did you think about today's lunch?
Yeah, Kayleen, this is one of those that could have gone on for another 30 minutes. Some of these sessions, it's like we don't have quite enough time to cover everything, but I'm just so thankful to have met Brett. I've worked with NAWIC for, probably 20 years now, but I have not met Brett and the connection there. So just thankful to know you're in Atlanta. I will be calling on you to get you even more engaged with SEPCA because I love your energy and just your passion for promoting, construction. One of the things she said that really resonated for me was the ability to kill two birds with one stone, right? I mean, we can, by making our industry more diverse and more inclusive in terms of race and gender, that's going to solve our skilled labor shortage, right? I mean, if we can get more women into our industry, I think, Brett, you said it's about 9% right now. I mean, imagine if we could just get it up to 20 or 30%, that would put a huge dent in the skilled labor gap that we're experiencing as an industry. So to me, that's cool. I love to tackle things that you can, do one thing and kill 2 or 3 birds at one time. And I feel like by tackling diversity and inclusion, we can do that. We can make our industry more diverse, more inclusive, and we can solve the skilled labor gap. So I'm excited, looking forward to working more closely with you, Brett. Thanks so much for taking time to be with us today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you guys all for this opportunity again to celebrate women in the industry, to make some awesome connections. And Kayleen, you are just so fun to talk to and share today.
Well, thank you, as were you. This was beyond terrific, and what a wonderful way to continue the celebration, and really, share some great information. And I don't think we actually said it, or if we didn't say it enough. Can you please repeat the website that people could go to find out more information, especially those fun events in Atlanta?
Yes, check out NAWICatlanta.org, and that's the National Association of Women in Construction, Atlanta.org. We've got all of our events posted there, our calendar for this week, and we meet monthly as well. So get involved, reach out to us. Can't wait to see you guys soon.
Yay! I hope your website breaks with everybody checking out all that fantastic
That would be amazing.
Yes. And so for all of our friends who are still hanging out, thank you so much for joining us for lunch. Next week, I am incredibly excited. We're going to be interviewing the mayor of Augusta, talking about the Construction Ready program. And so this is going to be another fantastic lunch. So everyone have a great afternoon. Brett, Scott, thanks for hanging out. And I can't wait to see you all next week.
Thank you, Kayleen. Bye, Brett.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.